watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ghostfire Media's coverage of the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series. I'm Josh Laston, filling in for Nick Adams, who's a little under the weather, and the ever-present Randy Pepper is here with me. How are you doing tonight, Randy?
Hey, I'm here. You know what? This is going to be a fun race. Last week we saw Scott Simley sneak one away from these guys, and it was good to see him do that in the number 12. And this week, running the Verizon on that truck, so we will see if he's got the snap-on. Yeah. So I actually last week I said, "Is that strap-on?" I thought it said strap-on, but it was snap-on. So, but it was my mistake. My eyes are terrible. So, and I was looking at a little itty-bitty screen, you know. So.
Just go ahead and get your mind out of the gutter, Randy.
I know. It was just a bad thing to happen. But anyways, this week we will have a host of new characters, I'm sure, towards the front. This track is a fast little track. I've been here many times, and it's a fun track. And one of my favorite things about this track is there's a casino right on the other side of the track.
And we know you're a big fan of it, not because of the casino, but the reason why you're constantly at Dover.
I'm playing in the Fire and Ice room. So that's the reason I like it. I get paid to go to this track.
And no one can really blame you for taking the opportunity to not only do what you love, but go see some racing. And you know what? Dover is one of my favorite tracks to run as a sim driver, and one of my favorite tracks to watch.
Yeah, it's a fun track. Lots of action usually happens at this track. We won't see a lot of drafting or anything like that. It'll just be pure talent driving around this track, making some passes and making some moves and all that good stuff. So it should be a fun night to watch the Sim500 Transervice truck guys make their way around the Dover National Speedway.
This is one of my favorite tracks for one simple reason. The steep banking, and especially with the trucks, it makes it to where it's driver's preference on the line that you take. You can run a little bit closer to the wall, carry more speed out of the corners, or you can drop yourself down to the edge of the banking and still run about similar lap times. One's a little more optimal, but at the end of the day, it's down to how you feel comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. I like just kind of running in the middle. That's kind of where I like to try to keep it. Kind of saves the tires a little better than trying to run that bottom groove that a lot of guys will do, that dime shape thing, or that dive, you know, a little high and then down to the bottom and then back up.
Yeah, it's a cement track, which definitely will grate on these tires quite a bit more than the average track, coupled with the high speeds and tight turns. tire wear is going to be key for these guys, especially if we can keep it clean and keep it running green.
Well, that's one thing you're going to see. You've never called one of these Sim500 races. You're going to see probably some of the cleanest racing you've ever seen. These guys do not play around. They are out here to race. They're not out here to wreck anybody. They're just here to have a good time, and you'll see them wreck now. You see them wrecking now in practice, but that's about the only time you're going to see them practice. I don't think we're going to see very many cautions tonight. We usually don't. It would be very surprising if we saw more than one or two tonight. So.
Well, and that's going to make it a fantastic race. I honestly am never one to complain when I need to fill in with Nick, not only because I get to work with the amazing Randy Pepper, but I covered one race in the Sim500 last season. It was a fantastic race. I believe it was at Richmond. I did get to see the quality of drivers that they have on display. And when I get to watch it on one of my favorite tracks, what could be better?
Absolutely. You've got, like I said, a lot of these guys, there are some of these guys actually running for pro. So that's the reason you got the talent that you do. And these guys are trying to make it to that payday.
Well, and
part of iRacing, I guess. You want to call. I'm watching some stuff on the other side here. By the way, we're just talking early on here. Fastest in practice so far has been Justin Fuller in the 51. The 58 of Pedro Mojica, who has been really consistent as of late. He is taken over for Mike Kelly, who last season was Mr. Consistency, and he was early on in the season. And right now, Mike Kelly is running third on the leaderboard. Ian Hamm is running fifth, and the Rhinestone Cowboy himself, Glenn Campbell in the 44, is running fifth fastest right now. We're still waiting to see if Daniel Falkingham, and there he is. He shows up right just as I said that. And was I correct on what I said? He would show up about a minute before the race?
well, he's got 2 minutes and 20 seconds. He'll probably hit the track with about a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I envy the people that can just show up and race like this. Some people tell me that they're running solo practice before joining. I like to believe that they're just that good.
Yeah, I believe that kid is just that good. He is one of those drivers that is running for pro. So he's just logging the laps, pretty much. So we'll see.
To have the time.
Tonight, yeah. I think we're going to see probably tonight Justin Fuller will be very fast. He's already won a race, maybe a couple this season so far. Pedro Mojica has just been, like I said, very consistent as of late. Trey Eidson, he's the one that probably will be fast. Kevin DeBrown, who knows? We won't know. We'll have to just wait and see till the race comes. Derek Myers, Brian Macklin, those guys will probably be pretty fast. I'd like to see Joey Katina have a good race tonight. That is one of our admins. I'd like to see him actually have a good race tonight. As we'll see, Sony Benfield will probably run pretty decent. We've seen him run good. Doug Sigmund's another one we'll probably see. Jeff Ryan, Josh Barker's another one we'll see probably run pretty good. EJ O'Rourke, another one which we see him way down. Scott Simley last week had that great run. Like to see him, keep that momentum going. We'll look for him. Hamish Gallagher, the guy out of Australia. He's another one we'll watch. So these are the guys.
You have to love the guys that are making that venture into these U.S.-based leagues, running the ovals. And from what I've seen, including a league that I ran, the Aussies are good at this kind of racing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they actually do have a NASCAR league over in Australia. At least they did. I don't know if they still do, but they did. And they were running ovals over there. So It's not a total foreign thing to all of them. So we'll see. Qualifying getting ready to kick off here in a second here at Dover International Speedway. And this will be a fun time to watch this. Josh Laston is filling in for Nick Adams, who Nick is not feeling great tonight. And I hope Nick feels better. So.
Yeah, we wish him a speedy recovery, but I get to pop in here, watch some fantastic racing, and let's see who has made their way out onto track. The first one is Brett Murphy to start his lap.
Yeah, Brett's going to take the truck around the track and run that middle groove that first time. He's going to drift up to the top of the track, and he'll pull it down to the middle part of the groove of the track and run down the back straightaway in that 64. And across the line for the first time. Here he goes. Off the turn, bound to the bottom again. And we'll see what lap time he pulls in here.
And he's definitely doing everything he can, and maybe he just had a little bit of an issue in 1 and 2, so he's abandoning that first lap, running the middle groove, and running himself a 23.63. That is definitely the case. And Ian Hahn is currently at the top of the charts with a 23.2, and apparently that's good enough for him.
Yeah, Ian's one of these guys we don't see very often, so I'm not real familiar on how he's going to run. So as of right now, yeah, he's up there, but we've got a lot of guys behind here that I expect to be very, very fast. Mike Kelly wasn't as fast as I thought he was going to be, 23.259.
That was his second lap, and let's go with last week's winner, who should be crossing the line on his, or starting his second lap. He's in fourth right now with a 23.22. But
yeah, Pedro Mojica is now out on top of the field right now, 23.198. Good lap for him. But one we're watching right now, I think we need to watch on that 39 truck right now.
Let's see, as he just got the first lap started. His top speed is a little bit higher.
Oh, he's in a wall. Oh, my.
That is not something you expect to see, but that is going to put him at the very back of the field.
Oh, he gets to run again, I think.
Oh,
he to go. Yeah, it was on his first lap. He can restart.
Oh, it likes him more than it's ever liked me.
Yeah, he was able to restart that, which he had one lap to go. So he may be able to come around here still and be able to turn in a good time. So we're going to see. As Daniel Falkingham making his way around the track, had a rare mistake. I don't think I've ever seen him do that. This is a guy that can pull these pit stops, just come off of turn number 4 and just brake as hard as he can and make it on, without speeding on the pits. I've never seen him make a mistake like that he just did. Here he comes off the turn, across the line, and he will wind up second. Justin Fuller still sitting on the pole.
And anyone that's capable of just kind of resetting themselves after that kind of an incident is a hero of mine, because my mentality does not work that way.
I can tell you this, Justin Fuller is probably thinking, oh man, he's going to come out here and knock me off. I know he is. And luckily he did not, so Justin will get, as of right now, he'll get credit for the pole as of now. Derek Myers actually knocked down Daniel Falkingham down to third. We still got some fast guys back there, though.
And some of these guys are definitely doing their part to try to make sure we have entertainment through all of qualifying.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's also looking like we may actually be reaching the tail end of people running. Because they're running out of time.
Yeah, they're out of time. Which is kind of surprising. So the field is set. And it looks like we're gonna do a little practicing right now, a little warm up, and then we'll go. We'll set the field.
As it is looking like we are having some issues with the timing and scoring.
Oh, I actually have it. So yeah, it's usually, I don't know what it is, but we usually do have a little timing and scoring problem. But I have it, so it's all good.
Yeah, but I want to make sure that everybody watching at home is able to follow along with us.
It'll sort itself out after one lap. So.
Yeah, I know how to. I fight it. I give it an
Fight
old
the
1-2 and get ourselves back up and running to where we can go ahead and give ourselves, well, now it's showing different stuff for me. And freaking out a little. Okay.
All right. So the lineup right now, and this is the way they're going to run off pit road and onto the track. On the pole tonight is Justin Fuller in the 51. Outside row is Derek Myers in the 23. Row 2, Daniel Falkingham and Brian Macklin. Row 3, Pedro Mojica and Ian Hamm. Row 4, it's Trey Eidson and Richard Swavely 4. Row 5, Chad Coleman and Tommy Ryan. Row 6, Scott Simley and Stoney Beddenfield. Row 7, Brett Murphy and E.J. O'Rourke. Row 8, Mike Kelly and the Rhinestone Cowboy Glenn Campbell. Row 11, or row, actually 9, that is, Chris Swavely, or Chris Sawyer, excuse me. Chris Sawyer, I got to pull this second. I couldn't see it. Chris Sawyer and Jeff Ryan. Running up behind them is Kevin DeBrown and Richard Beasley. Josh Parker and Charles Wood line up together. Hamish Gallagher in the 22, and the 14 is Joey Katina line up together. John Higman Jr. and John Mustin Jr. line up next to each other, 25th and 26th. 27th and 28th is Kevin Igman and Ron Holyfield. And rounding out the field tonight is Doug Sigmund in the 04 and Brian Wortman in the 74, going off 30th.
All right, that's going to go ahead and get us to green. And this is one of the other things I love about Dover, especially in iRacing. It's only one lap to green, so the lights on the pace car are off, and we are ready to get ourselves into the Geico restart zone and get this moving.
Here they come. Justin Fuller's going to bring them down to the line. Gas is on. Here they go down to turn number 1. Justin Fuller down on the inside. Derek Myers on his outside. Falkingham will pull down to the bottom inside of the Myers car and will take that position away from him. So single file the first two trucks with Myers out front and Falkingham behind him. And then right behind them, we've got everyone else falling in tow. We're going to do the conga line right off the first lap here as Fuller, Myers, Falkingham, and Mojica.
And that's something we definitely want to see going through here, but the 7 is making a move on that low line, getting around Chad Coleman in the 38, and I'm not really seeing anything throughout the field that's looking like we're getting too racy until we get back to about 10th. These guys are bunched up all within a second of each other, and we're watching the 41 of E.J. O'Rourke just make a move up to the front of this group and up into 9th.
EJ's making a good line, making a line for himself is what I want to say, as he got around the outside And he's setting his sail, trying to make some positions up already. 4 laps are down at 120 laps will make up the distance of the race tonight. If you're wondering about that, not too much. Oh, we got one truck pulling down to the bottom of the track.
I'm wondering if he maybe got a little bit of damage, maybe slapped a wall. That these walls here at Dover are unforgiving. And that's unfortunate to be 5 laps deep and already having to make your way into the pits.
Yeah, and he was running well, but unfortunately, not his night so far.
But we look at the front of this group. The front 3 really are starting to put a bit of a gap over 4th place. They're about a half second, and then it's almost a second back to 5th. But again, this battle for 10th, we're seeing them stacked up, and this is where the racing is gonna be for a little while.
Yeah, this is where the action's going to be. I'm not really so sure that's going to be that way maybe 5 laps from now. I think these guys will probably settle out and get nose to tail. You see the 2 of Mike Kelly and the Scott Simley, the 12, the teammates, you will see them throughout the race try to stick with each other. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So nothing abnormal.
And you know what? Sometimes it's good to have those kinds of teammates. I don't have those. There's too much competition amongst my team, as we are seeing a lot of 2 wide that's being blocked by the Ally Bridge. And we're seeing these guys going 2 by 2, but it looks like that outside line is gonna be the one to be in, as the 30, or that's a 99 of Tommy Ryan stopping that run. But if he really wants to stop it, he's gonna need to be up in that middle to top lane.
Yeah, Scott Simley's trying to get around Tommy, but he hasn't found the momentum to get around that what is it? North Carolina 811, Virginia 811.com truck. But he did finally get around him, and with 64 got a bump, but saved it right behind them.
I'm gonna make a quick jump up to the front as Justin Fuller. It has a mirror full of Daniel Falkingham. And did he possibly get his tires a little too warm on those first 10 laps, and now he may be a bit of a sitting duck?
Well, one thing we know about Daniel Falkingham is he is a master at saving tires. Everyone else kind of falls in second place in that category. And Bowtime is feeling the heat of that 39 January 31st truck, as Daniel Falkingham is looking for that inside groove to get around that 51, but it's not going to happen just yet.
I mean, at this point, if I'm in that specific position, I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of fuel savings, knowing that I've got that bit of a draft. Dover, it's not going to make a huge difference, but it can make, over the course of a fuel run, about a lap. And if I'm that much better with my tires, I'm not going to lose all that much by waiting that long.
No, probably not. One thing, now, I have to bring up one of Nick's big things he talks about every week. He talks about how the Chevrolet has an advantage over everyone else. Will a Chevrolet win tonight? Last week we saw a Toyota actually win. Even after Nick said for 2 weeks in a row that Toyotas are at an extreme disadvantage over every other truck out here.
I'm going to have to pick his brain and figure out where that logic is coming from.
Well, I will tell you right now, okay, if you want to pan back and pull a Toyota truck back, grab me a Toyota truck, and I'm going to explain to you.
Right there.
All right, that's Trey Eitzen. Okay, Trey, if you look at the front end of that truck, you see where the lights sit? You see how far they sit back off the front of the truck, and the hood or not the hood, but the grill sits kind of out by itself.
Yeah.
It's not aerodynamic, according to our buddy Nick. Now, if you look at the Chevrolet right in front of it, Pedro Mojica, perfectly rounded all the way around. There's nothing, the air doesn't get caught on it. It just kind of rolls off the front of that truck. Where that Trey Eidson's truck, the air doesn't quite roll. It kind of stops right there at the front of the hood because it's more flat. And then you got the lights all sitting recessed back in there. So that's Professor Nick's analogy of it.
If Nick was an aerodynamicist, I would listen.
He went to 2 weeks school in it.
Ah, okay. So he has a little bit there.
According to him, yeah.
But this is actually, we're focused, and it was actually just serendipitous that I jumped back here to view a Toyota because this group of three, this is third, fourth, and fifth, they're losing a little bit of ground to our leaders. It's 1.4 seconds.
Oh, yeah. That's losing a lot of ground.
But at the same time, when I first jumped back here, it was an expanding gap. They're holding steady at 1.4 right now. So we'll have to wait and see if this group is doing exactly what they need to do, keeping just a little bit of a buffer, only focusing on keeping that gap where it is to not burn their tires up because these Goodyears do not like cement.
No, they're definitely not. And we're looking at these three guys right here. You know, you got Mojica there being the meat in the middle of the sandwich there. And I would say these are three guys to watch for sure because I can guarantee these guys are sitting here saving tires, just letting those two leaders run away as far as they can. And Eidson, you know, he's won so many races in this league over the years. You know, he's not going to sit back here and you know, play possum, you know, all night long. He's going to be up there sooner or later. We're going to see him probably in the top three.
Well, I'm going to take a quick jump towards the back because I'm just sitting here watching gaps. And right now, this is the battle for 20th. And this is Ron Holofield and Jeff Ryan. I've been watching this gap go from under a tenth of a second to a tenth and back and forth as we see Jeff Ryan do a little bit of a blink, but we see Ron Holofield jump down, get the nose down below, and they hold on to it.
He was completely gone, and how Ron sat there and said, "Where'd he go?"
And they hold on to it. That's going to put Ron under a little bit of pressure from John Mustaine Jr. But those are the kinds of things that, as someone in iRacing, those are some of the scariest moments. But I got to get back up here to the front. As somebody blinks out in front of you, but we're going to watch. This is Peter Mojica.
Yeah, that's Mojica and Trey Eidson.
And these guys, it's another one of those that I just sat there and watched the gap shrink, expand, shrink, and expand to where Trey Eidson, he's now looking for that little bit of a bobble that's going to give him the opportunity to get the nose down below the 58 and get a move done.
Yeah, and the way it looks, it's going to be a few more laps, but it probably is going to happen. Like I said, I would not doubt that Trey Eidson is going to be a top three before long. Once he gets around Pedro, he will probably make his way on up to Myers and say hi to him as well. We are 28 laps down of 120 here in the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series. Truck race tonight here at Dover International Speedway. Randy Pepper alongside. Josh Lashton, who's filling in for Nick Adams. And it's a good time here as I see you going back there. You see our Kevin DeBrown. Come on and feel the noise, as I call him.
And we're looking back here because this little gaggle that we have here, we're starting to see some good racing. We're deep enough into this stint that tires are going to make a huge difference. Did you push too hard through the first 5 laps, overheat the Goodyears, make it to where they're going to be slippery, maybe a little more worn, but the sun beating down here in Delaware on this concrete surface, rubber doesn't like the heat.
Well, how many? Okay, so we're talking about tires and stuff and all this fun stuff going on around the track. Tire wear will bring them in, I'm sure, before gas will. At least I would think it would, but with these guys, we never know. But what do you think the run is going to be?
See, I'm the person that I know, especially in these kinds of races, as we're seeing Kevin DeBrown get right on the bumper of the resident Aussie down the back stretch. It's a massive gamble at a track like this. The fastest laps of the race that we were seeing were 23.3s. We'll just go with that. These guys are lapping over 25 seconds right now. Are you going to be able to make that up? So I will be the first to say, I'm going to run it bone dry. And especially as there goes the 83 trying to get down below Glenn Campbell in the 44. And apparently he has tires to be able to hold that bottom line and hold it well. As the 44 just goes ahead, gives up, says, you know what, I'd rather make sure my truck is good and clean than battle for one position.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll let Kevin DeBrown go, and Rhinestone Cowboy will hold on to fight some other time.
As jump up only about 3 positions as Hamish Gallagher is making the move on Scott Smiley. He just lost 2 positions in the matter of about a lap.
It's funny you say Smiley. It's Simley.
Simley. I'm dyslexic.
Everybody does it. I did it for like probably 3 weeks. I called him Smiley too.
I'm certified dyslexic, so I have an excuse.
But I thought you were going to blame it on COVID.
No, that's a long-standing problem. But it looked like he was about to try to cross over to get the position back, but I think his defense overheated the tires, and now he's going to be a bit of a sitting duck unless he runs that top line a little bit, gives him a bit of a break. But he is parking that truck right in front of Kevin DeBrown and doing a fantastic defense until he gives it up going into turn 1.
Gonna have to. His truck just does not have the same speed as these trucks behind him. As you can see, DeBrown going to get down to the bottom of him, and you're probably going to see Glenn Campbell do the same thing.
There's about to be a freight train run past that 12, and it's unfortunate knowing that he managed to get the win, and it looks like he may have given the turn 4 wall a little bit of a slap. And for those who don't know it, that's a signature Nick Adams move. Just so you guys can give him trouble once I'm not broadcasting. But I'm gonna jump
when he
up
does
to the
that, it
front.
doesn't matter. When you slam the wall like that, it doesn't matter if you're running a Toyota or a Chevrolet. You still have the same aerodynamic problem.
Yes, and especially when you're getting rid of door handles, suddenly those crinkles make it to where that truck's a little bit slower on the outside, and it's going to make it to where it's harder to turn left, which is what these trucks do.
Yep, absolutely. You got to go left. Lots of left turns.
as
And-
we're 1/3 of the
Whoa.
race.
Kevin DeBrown is, or not Kevin DeBrown, but Daniel Falkingham is right behind Fuller. He's stayed there for many, many laps now. We've seen him just running back there behind Fuller and not really pushing the envelope too hard. And but eventually, I think we're going to see.
As we literally see it right as
There
he
it is.
says. He's not going to push the envelope, and I think right now Justin Fuller is going to
try the
cross him
crossover.
over and is side by side going into turn one.
Oh, and he gives a little push up, and Daniel Falkingham goes up. The track does not hit the wall, but he will have to get out of the gas and follow in tow of that 51 of Fuller. That was just a bare touch, barely, but just enough to make him go up the track. So.
And now he's got to close that down as we have our first two takers on pit road, Scott Simley and Chris Sawyer. So looks like these guys are trying to split this into 3 completely separate stints and do it as evenly as possible. So we're about to see what the difference is between fresh tires and these 44 lap old tires we're seeing on the leaders. And I'm gonna make a quick jump back as this 3-car pack that we have right here, 7th, 8th, and 9th, with EJ O'Rourke, Mike Kelly, and Tommy Ryan.
Yeah, they're running nose to tail, and these guys have not stopped yet, right?
Correct. We only have 3 people as Trey Eidson has also made his way into the pits as the 99 is making that jump in front of the 2. The 2 just left in the room and figured, you know what, I'll live to fight another day.
Yeah, and then that's, I think that's a good move for Mike Kelly because Mike Kelly, he just has not had the luck this season. He had it early on, but as of late, the luck is, Lady Luck is gone her way. And as you see his teammate Scott Simley get around him, Scott's got fresh tires. You can tell because he's on a mission.
He is running a 23.63 when our leader is running a 25.37 right now. So those fresh tires are going to make it to where he is going to burn through the traffic on everybody that has stayed out. But the problem is as he's working his way through that traffic, he's having to run a suboptimal line and do a lot of damage. And I got to get back up here because the gap's under 0.2 of a second again.
Yeah, Daniel Falkingham has reeled him back in. He'll try to do it again. I would not doubt that he'll just run back there for a while and wait for the pit stop because he's so good at pit stops. He probably will make it up on the pit stop. It's 48 laps are down out of 120 laps. Are we going to stop at lap 50 or lap 52, 3? Who knows? We're going to watch it. Let's see.
I'm just wondering, are some of these guys going to do everything they can to possibly get to that halfway point? You called it at the beginning of the race and warned me about it. These guys are not going to give us a caution as we see Scott Simley get himself past the leaders. I actually think he's 2'd out.
Is he 2?
Yeah, he was on pit lane for about 2 laps worth. So as right now, that's the 40 of Charles Woods diving in front of our leaders, and the 39 tags a little bit of the wall there coming out of turn 4.
We saw him do that in qualifying, so might be running just a little too wide of a line.
There's a small chance that the little bit of a nudge he got while trying to get the pass done may have put a little anger in him to where he's running a little more aggressive than is advisable at a track like Dover.
Might be, but I don't see that with him and Fuller, but you never know.
Everybody has their bad days, as we now have Kevin DeBrown making his way into the pits, to where right now the top 20 have not made their way in, but the bottom third have, and we're seeing some.
He's going to use a pick. He might use a pick. I thought Falkingham was going to use the lap car as a pick, but he did not.
And they have a truck with fresh tires that's going to take that low line away from Daniel Falkingham, and that's going to give a little bit of an extra gap. The 64 has to probably hit the brakes a little bit. Yeah. And now going through 3 and 4, Daniel Falkingham is going to use that truck to get his nose down below the 51. The 51's going to have the extra speed coming out of turn 4. Manages to get himself in front. Does the 39 throw one in below? No, he does not. But the one thing we haven't noticed, Derek Myers has officially joined this party.
Yeah, he has definitely joined this party. He's right there back in that 23, saying, hey, guys, I'm back here now. Let's party. Wow, look at this. Nose to tail. And Myers is going to jump to the bottom of the track, try to get around Falkingham. He's got a nose underneath that truck there. And will he make it stick?
He's got just enough down there to keep him from getting to the low line. And it looks like Falkingham may be backing off to just go ahead, get himself down below, thought about crossing him over, but the 23 takes over second. And I'm so glad that we have a 3-car dance going on at the front of this race, as the 23 is looking to get down below the 51 now. And that is probably going to mean that Justin Fuller is going to drop back 2 positions once the 23 gets this pass done, if he can.
Yeah, we see Falkingham nose and tail back behind the 23 and try to get around Fuller, as Derek Myers now is your new leader in that Bang Energy number 23. The Sammy Guevara look-alike truck, as some people probably say, who is Sammy Guevara? Why do you always reference this guy? Oh, we got trouble. One truck is around right behind them. Caution will fly at lap 59.
As that is, well, obviously these guys are going to be able to make it to half race distance on fuel. If we have a nice hard run to the end, some of these guys are not going to have to stop, so let's take a look and see what happened. It looks like Kevin DeBrown was involved in that. Coming out of turn 4, the 58 slides up a little bit. That looks like there was some net code involved in there, but definitely the 93 tags the inside wall, and there's probably some radiator damage.
I believe so as well. Yeah, it looked like he was on fresh tires. Pedro was definitely not. And yeah, you didn't even touch him. Hey, whoa, and look, Cherry Idson got into the back of Pedro and then slammed the wall as well. And look, Idson's done.
Oh, yeah, that is highly unfortunate, but this is what green flag pit stops do, as we join once again live as we're seeing the procession down pit lane. So we will go ahead, get ourselves to the camera at the front here, to where we get to watch this wonderful race off of pit road, and we see the 51 do a little bit of a slide.
Yeah, that's going to hurt
straight.
him. Kind of overshot his pit just a hair.
And with iRacing, and the 23 and the 39 definitely were we'll say inside of one another.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not. Who actually won that? Can you tell me?
We will find out once we kind of get everything sorted here, because iRacing is gonna tell them. Because, well, actually,
Myers did.
Actually, I think Falkingham is, because otherwise, well, helps if I don't click on the wrong thing. No, I think Myers actually was second. Otherwise, he would be in front, because iRacing likes to put everybody in order.
Yep. Wow. All I can say is Falkingham never surprises me. Never.
Well, I unfortunately know pit stop errors all too well, and Justin Fuller right now possibly kicking himself a little bit, because this would have been the opportunity to get yourself in the perfect stop and make up that gap, because everybody came in at the same speed. It was all about where you positioned yourself in the stall.
Yeah. One thing I'm wondering about right now, we saw how Fuller and Falkingham pretty much dominated. They sat out there, raced, and we saw Myers sit back, kind of relax a little bit, running third, and then as the tires started going away, he started moving up. So with less than, it took him roughly 52 laps to catch them and get around them. This time he will not have 52 laps to do that. Will he run hard, or will he sit back like he did last time?
He has 52 laps. It's just going to be,
well,
he doesn't have the time to make the moves.
Right.
And that is going to be the question. But as a racer, he's probably thinking, okay, he knew exactly what he did to open up that last stint. He knows that he can go maybe that 1% harder and still probably have the better tires than these guys, but be able to hit them at lap 45 in the stint and leave himself 10 laps to make the move.
All right. The pace car pulls the field around 2 by 2. Pace car pulls off. Falkingham will lead the field to the green flag at lap 64. Here they come off the turn, bunched up. Everybody waiting for that. There it is, the jump by Daniel Falkingham. He'll jump out to a 1-2-3 car length lead, and he's going to bring Fuller. Myers did not get the start that he wanted to, and now we will see Falkingham pull away from the field and have a host of characters all behind him trying to reel him in, as Fuller and that Bojangles 51 is going to be the first one to try to reel in that 39 January 1st, 31st truck of Daniel Falkingham.
And what we're seeing is Derek Myers, after that a little bit of a delayed start. Honestly, it's not going to be the worst thing. We saw what he did, dropping back a little bit on the initial start. He now gets to run his race. Nobody's really around him to where he's got about a 3-car length in front and behind, as we're watching from the blimp. The 99 of Tommy Ryan has just a massive train behind him, and everybody's waiting for that potential bobble.
Yeah, you see E.J. O'Rourke dive to the bottom to pick up a position, but he's got a trunk full behind him.
Yeah, this group is getting
almost
a little
2 tires
racy.
deep behind there. Yeah.
And the 81 of Josh Parker, he is doing what he can in that Toyota that apparently is less aerodynamic, so not as fast as the two Chevys in front of him, but he is looking fast as he's trying to make up some positions. He's up 15 from the start to get himself up into 6th, and I'm going to count, if I'm in that situation, I'm going to count that as a win, as he's looking to try to get down below the 99 now.
Yeah, he's definitely making some moves back there, for sure. As, yeah, like you said, he's made up 15 positions.
And he gets around the 99.
Yep, started 21st, now he's up to 6th. Other movers and shakers back there, Joey Katina started 24th, he's up to 12th. Hamish Gallagher started 23rd. He's running 10th. Brett Wertman started in 30th position. Now he's all the way up to 16th. So we've seen some guys make some great moves to make their way up. One guy I'm actually surprised is Pedro Mojica. He was involved in that last little caution that we had. And it looked like at the start he was going to fall back. But now he's running in this big old pack here, running 8th. He started 5th, so he's running pretty good. I'm actually surprised. He's running as good as he is.
He's got a little bit of damage on that right rear, but being involved in the only incident we've had so far, I'm going to go ahead and knock on that wood desktop that I've got in front of me.
I'm doing the same.
But
hello?
I do everything in my power to not give the commentators curse, but sometimes it just happens.
Oh, we got trouble. There it is. You gave it. And it looks like Myers involved in this, as well as EJ O'Rourke is involved in this as well. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it.
Hey, it was not the person we were talking about, so at least I have a little bit of deniability as, oh, the 41.
Yeah, EJ O'Rourke gave him just a tip, and that unfortunately put Myers, who was having such a great run, in this whole thing.
And unfortunately, the person that we were talking about also ended up in that.
Pedro, yeah, he got a little piece of that.
As we'll take a quick look a little farther back. And yeah, that's one of the down things about Dover is it's so contained with where the walls are that unless you're able to stop before an incident, chances are you're going to end up in it.
Who was that Myers ran into? So I can't really see. The truck is against the wall. I believe it. Was it the 99 in Ryan?
Take a quick run back through. And
oh, the 38. That's who that was.
Yeah, that was the 38 of Chad Coleman. And yeah, that's highly unfortunate. But we're seeing a surprisingly large amount of the field make their way into pit road right now. Daniel Fockingham, the curse of being the leader this late into a race is, chances are the few cars behind you are going to do the exact opposite of what you do.
Absolutely, which you should. You actually should. I mean, we pitted at lap 60, somewhere around there.
60 and 61 for the most part.
Yeah, so at 15 laps to go on these tires. Why not get an extra little boost right here from these tires?
The only major problem that we are going to see, and this did not happen here, you run the risk of putting yourself too far back in the field to be able to really make up the time. We're on lap 75 of 120. It's right on the cusp of where I'm going to start thinking about that, but only the front row, Daniel Fockingham and Richard Beasley, did not pit.
They're the only ones that did not pit?
They're the only ones at the front of this race that did not pit.
Man, you got Parker right behind you, too.
You have a lot of guys that it's looking like they may have only done right sides, but judging by the fact that everybody's around 15 seconds, they took all four. But this front row are sitting ducks.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're Daniel Fockingham.
There's only so much skill that you can do to be able to compensate for 10-lap-old Goodyears.
That's true. Absolutely. I agree.
He does have the advantage that these caution laps are going to cool him down a little bit to where if he is the master of tire savings that you were leading me to believe, it will be enough to be able to really make them still have grip. But once everything's back up to temperature, they're going to show their age. But the lights on the pace car are off, so we're stacking them up 2 by 2 once again. We are on lap 77, about to go green at 78. I'm looking forward to these last 43 laps.
Yeah, we'll see how this stack plays out here with all these guys 2 by 2. Daniel Fockingham down low, Richard Beasley up high, Parker right behind them with the 99. Tommy Ryan, Mike Kelly, and Hamish Gallagher lined up in row 3. Row 4, it's Glenn Campbell and John Mustin Jr. Pace car pulls off. Here we go. When will Daniel Fockingham press the gas to the floor? It's going to be... Got to wait for the start zone. There he goes. He's on the gas, and off he goes by 1, 2, 3, 4 car lengths. And just like that, those new tires are going to play out as that Parker truck will pull down at the bottom of the track and now start to reel in the 39 of Daniel Fockingham. Fockingham still's got a 1-2 car length lead over that 81, and we got yellow out again. Once again, cautions are going to breed cautions.
Oh, that is always unfortunate because Fockingham got an amazing jump and looked like he may have been able to defend. But let's take a look as it's looking like Charles Woods may have been at the heart of this. Possibly not responsible. Definitely not responsible.
Oh, a lot of good trucks got involved in that. No, he got into Holyfield at the very beginning.
Now let's take a quick look, and that's just going 3 wide. Is unfortunately the one at the bottom, and
yeah, Ron got a piece of that,
and that's just unfortunate. Wrong place, wrong time, and a little bit of smoking there, so that's gonna put a damper in the evening. And
yep, that'll be an early night for him as well. After 80 laps of 120 laps here at Dover International Speedway, now is a good time. If we've got a commercial, let's go to commercial, and if not, we will.
Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
And we are back, still under caution. Lap 81 of 120. But, Randy, over the break, you were saying that this is a little bit uncommon.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see this many cautions on a Talladega or a Daytona race. Which, most leagues will have a few cautions in a speedway race, but I've seen them go with no cautions. And tonight we've had 3, 4.
And, yeah, and honestly, again, this is typical of my mind in Dover. Is you have maybe one early, then you go for a while, we get a round of green flag stops, and then suddenly everybody gets bunched back up. They realize they're halfway through the race, and it's a little more go time than it was 40 laps ago.
Yeah. And one thing about this whole caution, the way it fell out, or played out, was we saw Josh Parker was going to, try to reel in Daniel Falkingham. He had newer tires, but as this caution fell out, I believe this is going to equalize the field a little more than Mr. Parker hoped it would.
Yeah, that heat cycle in the Goodyears as Daniel Falkingham takes the top line. That, I won't argue the decision. However, Dover is one of the tracks that may not be the best decision, because neither line is fully up to speed until about entry to turn 2. Really?
Yeah, right in there, yeah.
So that extra distance traveled could make a huge difference, but he also gets to carry it off as the pace car is off.
And Falkingham up high, Parker down low. Parker waiting for Falkingham. Falkingham's on the gas. He's out by a half a car length over Parker. Parker diving to the bottom of the track, trying to get that away from Falkingham, but Falkingham has such a good line off of turn number 1. He will assume the position as Falkingham leads by a half a car length over Parker. Parker looks to the inside. He's going to tuck in right behind him as they come off of turn number 4 to complete.
Caution is out.
Again, caution is going to breed caution.
Let's go ahead and take a quick look and see what happened. We're looking about mid-pack here. Just another 3 wide, and a couple of guys just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Fuller was right there with that. Our early on leader.
And he was looking strong until the pit stops, but again, it's one of those things, and we had another heat cycle, and Daniel Falkingham's advantage is seeming a bit better after not taking that pit stop.
Yep, absolutely. Let's go ahead and take another break here while we have time to pay some bills to our fabulous sponsors here in the Transervice Truck Series.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere. And knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
And we are back. We are at lap 85, and unfortunately, we are seeing the old adage play out of cautions breeding cautions.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's worse than a Georgia night in the backwoods. More breeding going on here than out there.
Are you allowed to say that since you're from Florida?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Go Dogs. Oh, boy. Yeah, I can say that.
But
anyway, what you got there, Josh?
what we are seeing is some of these guys that are towards the back of the field rolling the dice, popping into the pits, probably getting 4 new tires because they're already back there. Gonna end up staying on the lead lap, getting in front of the lapped cars. It's the kind of move that I like to make in these situations because why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? You have nothing else to lose. So go ahead and do it. If it gives you a few extra positions, that's a few extra points that you can use down the line.
But the people that I think at this point we are never going to see pit is Daniel Falkingham, Josh Parker, who is now up 19 positions, desperately going to try to get himself up 20 positions from where he started, as he's going to start on that low line and do everything he can to get the best start to take advantage of the minimal tire advantage he has right now after these 2 restarts.
Yeah, he's got to do a little better than he did last time because Falkingham had such a fast start that he was able to pull right down in front of Parker. As the field is bunched up 2 by 2, lug nut to lug nut around the Dover International Speedway. You see some guys really fanning out back there.
Well, we got one person trying to make his way up to the group, and that is the 3 of Jeff Ryan, getting himself out of the pits after a very quick pit stop, it looks like, even though it looks like it's damaged. But the pace car is off, and let's get ourselves to the Geico restart zone. And Daniel Falkingham goes early, gets the great 1 car length jump. He's staying up top, slides down to that bottom line in front of Josh Parker. But what we're seeing is the 10 of Richard Beasley, who was on the same tire strategy.
Well, trouble, one truck goes around. It looks like Lynn Campbell maybe back there. He slammed in the inside wall.
And I have this strange feeling that we're going to see quite a few of these before we have wrapped up for the evening. But let's take a quick gander, see what happens here. I'm curious if...
Was it the 44 that did that, or was it somebody else?
That was in front. Yeah.
It was Glenn Campbell. I thought it was. And...
well, how about we do this? I'm going to cheat real quickly here. And then let's
start it right there. That 44 truck was
more a matter of, did I lose him? No, I did not.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Let's see what
I'm looking
happened.
at the bottom because I see you have an in.
Ooh, oh, Joey Katina actually hit the wall and came down into Campbell, and then Campbell got nailed as well.
It's the worst when those are the kinds of things that you have the good run, somebody slaps the wall, and
It looked like Scott Simley got a big portion of that.
And there's nothing quite like watching that puff of smoke in your rear view mirror and realizing that there was almost nothing you could do there, but it's looking like they're doing everything in their power to make it to where we can pay the bills.
Yep, absolutely. Let's pay some bills.
Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
And we are coming back. It's looking like at this point it's gonna become a race of attrition. That we're 3/4 of the way through, and it looks like the top half of the field have not been involved in something, while we have about 6 people getting a ton of repairs on pit road.
Yeah, if you notice back there, 13th is Fuller. Fuller trying to make his way up there, using all these trucks that have had problems to actually gain some positions.
And he's looking about as clean as you could expect. Somehow, after ending up towards the tail end of the field.
Yeah, he went and got tires. Now, Scott Simley in front of him, I thought he was involved in that last melee with the 44, but I guess not. Or maybe he had a little netcode thing going on.
I think the netcode gods were very friendly to him, because the front end of that snap-on number 12, it looks very clean, but
yeah,
let's get ourselves back up to the front as the pace car is off.
Pace car is off. Daniel Falkingham up high, Parker down low. Falkingham is on the gas, and away he goes by 1, 2, 3, 4 truck lengths right off the bat, and he's going to assume the position and pull the field around off of turn number 2. Parker will settle into second and try to pull away from Ryan back behind him. And actually, Ryan's back there battling with that number 10, that Tide machine. I know Nick Adams loves that Tide machine. That's one of his favorite trucks out there. He always talks about how great that truck of Richard Beasley looked. You know, that's one of his favorites, as it brings back memories of his old days. But we see Falkingham leading the field, and finally we have a conga line assumed around the track.
And we've been waiting for, all right, I'm going to go ahead and call it. We're 26 laps to go. It's probably been about 20 laps that we've been waiting for this. And we have ourselves a fantastic run going here, but I got to get up to this front. Josh Parker just set the fastest lap of the race with a 23.16, and he has closed the gap down on Daniel Fockingham. And I'm wondering if those fresher Goodyears by 14 laps are finally going to make a difference, as he looks a little bit to the inside, doesn't quite get the nose down there, as he gives him a nudge, and he holds on to it.
I cannot believe the driving skills of Fockingham to save that. I cannot believe that. That was unbelievable.
I'm sure there may have been some expletives going on in his rig, but right now the 81 of Josh Parker, he's getting the pass done, but will he be able to hold on to it to lead the lap? No, Daniel Fockingham leads the lap, and they're fighting side by side, lap to lap, and this is not going to do any favors.
All the inside-outside going on now.
As we're seeing the 10 get himself into this mix, running on the same pit strategy as Daniel Fockingham, but that just opened up the door for Josh Parker to run away.
Yeah, he's pulling away by 4 car lengths or truck lengths over Fockingham, and Fockingham just has a trunk full of Ryan back there in that 99. Ryan's right behind him. And Ryan now has Brian Macklin right behind him. Macklin, we haven't talked a lot about Brian Macklin tonight, but at 30 truck that is now. Is he going to save this one? He did save it.
That control is that is special, but I'm gonna stick with he's not in a good place right now as Tommy Ryan is moving himself up into second. Brian Macklin in third, but there's been a few nudges given to get us to this point with Daniel Fockingham back in seventh.
I wonder if people are just kind of getting tired of the Daniel Fockinghams and saying time for somebody else to take the lead out here. So maybe that's what's happening. And we see Mike Kelly actually now getting around Beasley, and he's bringing Fuller with him. Mike Kelly having a good run tonight. Hopefully it continues on with 19 laps remaining here at Dover International Speedway in the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series race tonight, as you see Fuller trying to reel in the back end of that number 10, settling now. And we'll, I think we've settled down a little bit. I think we need to get one more break out of the way, and
we'll
make our way
to the end without interruption.
Absolutely.
back. Things definitely have calmed down, but what I need to come back here to is it's perfect timing. Daniel Fockingham, in those slightly older Goodyears, he's fallen back, and it's just one of those unfortunate strategy calls that you can't see the future, and
undo it now.
kind of ruins the race. But the one thing that I am somewhat confused about is Richard Beasley on the same strategy, currently running in 5th, up 15 spots, but on the same age tires.
Well, you got to remember, Beasley did not get 2 nice little love taps. He didn't, get, that just a tip on 2 trucks, and Daniel Fockingham was sideways twice.
Got to get up here to the front as the 99 and the 81 going side by side through 3 and 4. And Tommy Ryan gets the lead, but is the 81 of Josh Parker going to be able to fight back? And it's looking like probably no.
No. Tommy Ryan looking strong in that 99. And he's going to pull away by 2 car lengths or 2 truck lengths. Taking that Virginia 811 out there.
With 10 laps to go, now 9. 9 laps to go for the 99, as he's looking very comfortable. He's managed to open up 0.4 of a second lead, and now we're going to start to see, is he going to pull away? As I'm going to jump back a few spots, as the 30 of Brian Macklin is under pressure from Mike Kelly, who gets the nose down below. Entering turn 1, he gives him plenty of space, and the 2 is going to try to get the move done, but the 30 has too much speed coming out of turn 2 to make that pass possible.
Well, this is a good run for Mike Kelly. It's good to see him running the way he used to run all the time. If he can get around Macklin, he'll get a podium, and we'll get to talk to Mr. Kelly and get to find out what his thoughts on his season so far have been. And usually I call him Mikey Kelly, and you know why I call him Mikey Kelly. And he hates when I call him Mikey Kelly.
Well, you should maybe stop doing that. But I
you know
also
what?
know you well enough to know that you won't.
I have only done it one time tonight, and that was the last time. Mike Kelly is what I've been calling him. I've been good. I have been good, but I've explained I usually do call him Mikey Kelly, but tonight I will not. I want to see Mike Kelly get around Macklin and get a podium so I can talk to him. Macklin's had a up and down season as well, but not to the extreme of that number 2 Kodiak truck.
And
that's a good battle.
He's doing everything to battle to make sure that he has a chance to chat with you tonight. As we just before, as we're about to cross the line for 4 to go, Tommy Ryan has opened up over 1.4 seconds of a gap after getting around Josh Parker to take the lead of this race, and it's looking like this battle, as we see the number 2 looking low, trying to get the nose down there, but is not really going to be able to make that battle with the extra momentum on that outside line. But these 2 are actually catching up to Josh Parker. They just probably do not have the laps to get it done.
I think 3 laps is just not quite enough. And time is running out for Mike Kelly to get around Macklin. Macklin's just running his line. Unfortunately, it's the same line that Mike Kelly needs to get around him. He'll try again, pulls to the bottom of the track, trying to get just that quarter panel up there to take that position, but not happening. I know that's going to be frustrating as heck. We have 2 laps remaining
As I'm actually going to jump up to our leader coming out of turn 4. This is going to make it to where he is getting the white flag. And short of a catastrophic equipment failure, he is going to go ahead and get this win tonight.
Yeah, down the back straightaway into turn number 3. He'll pull down to the bottom of the track. He'll drift up just a hair, and down to the bottom he goes, and off of turn number 4. Tommy Ryan is going to win here at Dover. Josh Parker will pull in second. Macklin will be third, and Mike Kelly will be fourth. And they're wrecking them behind them.
Of course.
Richard Beasley had a great run coming in 5th place, and showing that those tires were just enough to bring him home.
As we have ourselves maybe results.
Should have the results here. Yeah,
there we go. And our winner tonight, as he is going to go ahead and leave his mark on the start-finish line, that is Mr. Tommy Ryan, followed by Josh Parker in second. Third is Brian Macklin. Fourth, Mike Kelly. Fifth, Richard Beasley. Sixth, John Mustaine Jr. Seventh is Justin Fuller. Eighth, Scott Simley. Ninth, Hamish Gallagher. 10th is Joey Gatna.
No, Katina.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's our admin. We got to make sure we get him right.
I'm terrible.
One that pays our bills.
Well, the sponsors pay the bills, but he's the one that signs them.
That's right, exactly. So, gotta make sure he's good.
11th is Daniel Falkingham. 12th, Doug Sigmund. 13th is Stoney Benefield, and 14th, Brian Wortman. 15th, Ron Hollifield. 16th, Brett Murphy. 17th, Kevin England. Hopefully I got that right. And 18th is Richard Swavely. Then
9th, it was Pedro Mojica. 20th was Kevin DeBrown. 21st, Jeff Ryan. 22nd was Glenn Campbell. 23rd, it was E.J. O'Rourke. 24th, Charles Wood. 25th, Chris Sawyer. 26th is Chad Coleman. 27th, Derek Myers. 28th, Trey Eidson. 29th was Ian Helen. And 30th was John Higman Jr. That rounds out the field tonight. Let's grab our third place truck and bring him in.
Well, you threw off my order.
Oh, no, we run third, second, and first.
Well.
Oh, we got second in there. That's fine. We'll
I
go with Josh.
I didn't do anything. You're the one
Okay,
that
Josh is
poorly.
Josh is in here. Josh Parker, how's it going, my man?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing good. We're just a little out of sync. Josh Lashton is filling in for Nick, and so we thought we were going to bring in Macklin first, but you are here again. So, a good run for you. You look like you might have won tonight, but what happened there? Tires go away, or what happened?
Yeah, I think I underestimated clean air with the tires, thinking that having clean air would still be more powerful than tire wear, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but I drove too hard to start, and I just burned the right front off, and Tommy was quick all night, so he was fast on the long run, and I had nothing for him there at the end.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising he came up there as fast as he did out of nowhere. But you guys all stopped and got tires when Daniel Falkingham did not. It seemed to be the equalizer.
Yeah, we had 2 sets left over, so it would have been pretty much impossible to use 2 sets in 40 laps. So it was a pretty easy call to pit there.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh, got any questions for our second place winner?
So how did you manage to keep your calm, as we knew you had to get yourself around two people on a different tire strategy, and the cautions kept coming. How did you keep yourself focused on getting yourself up to the front?
Yeah, that was kind of annoying because it was I feel like every time that there's a yellow equalizes the tires. So I don't think it hurt me. I mean, the heat cycle I think kind of hurt me getting those the tires heated up and cool down so often. So that I don't think it really played a factor where I finished, but I knew I was probably going to get around both of them. It was a matter of when.
Well, good run tonight. Congratulations on a second place tonight. Have anyone you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, thank you guys for doing the broadcast, and yeah, the series admins, everybody, team name, Checkman, everybody.
I love it, man.
Thank you.
Quick and sweet. All right, so let's see who else we got here that we can pull in here. We should have Macklin around here somewhere. Let's see if I can. Oh, where is that?
I actually am not seeing him unless he's...
I'm not. Yeah, I don't see Macklin around. Where is our winner?
Well, that one I can do.
All right, let's go ahead and...
Okay, maybe I can't. He's just out. All right. He's going to be doing some team hopping really quickly here, but... Oh, I may not have that ability.
Let me see if I can grab him. Let's see if I don't even
He's
see
under
him.
unacceptable racing.
Unacceptable racing. Ah, there he is. Let's see if I can grab him. I'm having a little trouble getting him out of here too. Let's see.
Oh, are you just moving him one team at a time?
Yes, I am.
That was my plan too, so don't feel bad.
Keep dropping him because I can't get him up far enough. Well, I don't know if we're going to be or not. These guys should know that they should be up here in the waiting room, but they are not.
There's too much to talk about. Because we just did 120 laps here.
Oh boy, this is great. I'm trying to grab him, and folks, what we try to do here, and we try to grab our leader or winners and bring them up to the booth with us. But if we can't, we don't have enough room. We can't get them.
I have very high resolution screens, and yet I still can't.
Oh, I got him up one. I got him up. Let's see. I got him. I might have him. Let's see. I'm still working on it. I'm still working. What if I can get him up one more?
I think he went back down.
He did not.
Yeah.
He did. Oh, come on. Did he go back down? Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
He was in a very enthralling conversation.
Yeah, let me see if I can get him to come up here. Channel is full. Hold up. Let me see if I can.
As I have officially lost Randy Pepper because he is doing what he can to get our winner up here that, you know what? You would honestly think that people would want to chat with the ever famous Randy Pepper, but at the end of the day, it looks like that's not the case. We have success.
Yeah, I had to go down there and grab him, but it was funny because there was like 15 people and they're talking in that one group, and they're all like, "Don't you?" They were giving him heck because didn't you know you got to go up there to the booth with those guys, and he's like, "You're gonna drag me up here," and I couldn't drag him because he was so far down the list. Couldn't grab him. Oh boy!
I was wondering how I kept switching channels. I was like, "Who's dragging me around?" I was like, "When's the broadcast going to?" So sorry.
There's only a certain amount of channels that we can grab, and I'm like, you're at the very bottom, and I'm like, drag. And I couldn't get you. It's like one at a time. I could drag you. That was pretty funny. Congratulations, Tommy, on a great win tonight. Boy, you drove your guts out there, man.
Yeah, the whole strategy, I was like, well, I know I can do 60 laps, so I really took care of the tires in the beginning. And when we finally pitted it under that caution, it was basically halfway. Right front was down to like 20%, and I was probably driving it probably 80 to 89% at times, and just trying to keep the right front on it because I knew it was either going to get really free or really tight, and it ended up kind of being on the tight side. But so the caution came out, and then it's just like, well, you got to go, and then caution after caution, and took that last set, and I was like, I think I'm done if we keep doing this. And I knew Daniel had stayed out, Beasley had stayed out, but I don't understand. I'm guessing Josh maybe took two, not sure, but I was like, either he's saving or I'm killing him. So got around him and just drove away. So it's lightning struck, man. I finally got one.
I know. I'm like, Tommy Ryan has got a win. Look at this.
Yeah,
so, that was awesome, man. Did you get into Falkingham? Who got into?
Yeah.
Okay, it was you. I thought it was you that got into him.
You weren't alone.
You were like the second person.
Well, the whole thought was, and I saw him do it to Beasley. He was just trying to protect track position, and I knew I had better tires. And every time we'd come off the corner, he would get in the corner, and basically the line I was taking, he was basically jamming me up in the center of the quarter. I couldn't get to run out. And then I finally timed it where I was right on him, and he started drifting down where he was going to try to block the run. And then I was just waiting for that last second where he was going to have to look at the corner entry to kind of set his bearings up. And then I went low on him, and then he tried to block right away. And glad he didn't wreck or anything, but it's he's just trying to do what he has to do. Now on the other hand, and he knows this, if I was on older tires, I would have never attempted to try to block somebody like that, because I mean he's I don't know, just mentality, I guess. I'm just like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I can agree with that a lot, because I mean, as many points as he has right now, there's no reason to run that hard. You're already in the championship. You're already going.
What was there? I don't know, 18 laps, 20 laps left. He wasn't going to hold me off.
No, there's no way. No, you guys were coming too fast for him. He had a whole slew of people behind him that were faster. So,
but I'm usually on the other end of that, 99 times out of 100 with him. So, he might get the same treatment next time comes around, and I'll hold him up. And if I get wrecked, it's what's the difference? It's just kind of, I'm not pissed. I guess I'm a little disappointed in some aspect, but
you got the win though, and he didn't. So I wouldn't be too disappointed.
Yeah, but I mean, I have to race around him, 3 and 4 times a week.
Yeah, that's true.
But again, hey, I'll take it, man. I don't win a whole lot of these things. I run well. I run in the top 5 a lot of times, but getting that W column is kind of tough.
Yeah, we haven't talked to you in the booth in a while, so it's good to talk to you. So
yeah. So maybe we'll do it again in a few weeks.
Hopefully so. I'd love to talk to you again, my friend. And Josh, you have anything to add here?
I have nothing other than it seemed like didn't really have any reason to chat with you, and then out of nowhere, here's Tommy Ryan making the just run up to the front. So these are the kinds of races that myself as a racer, I always love seeing, is the win that, for lack of a better term, seems to kind of come out of nowhere.
Well, let me thank my sponsors real quick before I get out of here. That's Virginia 811, call before you dig. So make sure you, before you stick a shovel in the ground, make sure you give them a call, and they'll come out and locate your stuff for free. And it's a law. And northerntool.com. Make sure you guys are ordering all your shovels and stuff you need to dig with from those guys, and we'll see you guys in a week or so.
All right, awesome job. Congratulations on another great run here for the win at Dover.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right. All right, Josh, that'll wrap it up for tonight's great race here at Dover International Speedway in the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series. I don't know. It's been good for me. I've enjoyed your company tonight. I'm glad you filled in for Nick. I think it went smoothly. I think the fans would agree that we had a good race tonight.
No, definitely. I love coming in to watch these guys. I'll admit, even though I don't broadcast it, it's my Thursday morning entertainment while I'm at work because the show is fantastic. But getting to call it and getting this much excitement means I'm probably not going to fall asleep for another hour. But I'm glad to have been here. Make sure catch all the other wonderful racing we have on Ghostfire Media. Monday nights, catch me and Adam for the North-South Racing League and their Street Stock Series. Or
Y'all had a good race on Monday, that's for sure.
Rockingham is like nothing else in the other cars. Don't give it to me in the newer cars, but give it to me in the street stocks, the 87s. Perfection.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good one.
But that's going to do it for us here at Ghostfire Media. Make sure and catch us next Wednesday. Hopefully Nick Adams feels a little bit better and is back to bring y'all the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series action with Mr. Randy Pepper, who I enjoy working with. But enjoy your evening and catch us next week.
Yeah, folks, see you next week. From Josh Laston, I'm Randy Pepper. We will see you next week here on the Ghostfire Media Network. So long from the Sunshine State.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.